Hi, everyone. I wanted to just do a brief video to talk you through the facilitative coaching plan pieces, mostly the first exploration stage piece, because that is the first part. But some of you have been sending me questions about the assignment or the project as a whole. So I just wanted to walk you through it since we really didn't have a lot of time in our first meeting, those of you who were able to attend. I've got it in front of me. You might want to have it in front of you as you look at this or just listen through. I'm not going to share my screen, so I'll be looking up at my document on my other screen. But basically, the context, which I think is an overview, is really the important thing to think about. What's the main purpose of doing this facilitative coaching plan and cycle overall? Well, the main goal is so that you get some practice learning how to work with a mentee or a coachee as a coach from beginning to end in a very shortened period, working on a very small plan to improve the teacher's teaching, which in turn impacts the student's learning. I mean, that's the bottom line of all coaching, right? So the sentence that says this project allows you to practice planning and setting up a coaching relationship and cycle using the facilitative coaching model Aguilar outlines. Now, there are other coaching models. We'll be learning about them, but basically we're going to use the Aguilar model as a whole, but bringing in parts of the Sweeney model and the Knight model and others as we go through. But so your textbook will be a really important piece. You will be pulling pieces from it, using it, along with reading it, of course. And I know some of you are accessing it online, which is great. So this first part, which is due in, there's 3 stages. The exploration stage, which is really important in any coaching cycle, is getting to know the person, their needs, where they're working, what do they believe about teaching, what do they feel are the areas they want to improve. So really digging in and getting to know that person is really key. And that's what this exploration stage is. And that's why we spend a few weeks on it, taking the time to look at that and really get that context so that you can work with them in a productive way. So this first stage is that exploration stage that you will work on. And thinking about, listed also in this document, are the standards that are being addressed, the NSTOI standards. You're working on domain 4. So that's a clue for any of you who want to use some of your clinical hours when you actually do your coaching. Domain 4 is one of the main domains that this assignment is based on. Also, the course learning outcomes, those are key as well. What you will be able to do at the end of this program is plan and practice a coaching cycle, considering relationship, effectiveness, and impact on student learning. So this first stage is really relationship, starting with building that relationship. And it will throughout as well, but this first exploration stage is really important. Course learning outcome 5 is to prepare and assume the varied coaching and advocacy responsibilities in being a mentor of pre-service, novice, and more experienced teachers. So being an advocate for professional development through coaching and mentoring will be a big part too. So let's go into the first part and exploration stage. Basically what you will be producing is a report. I guess I'll give you I forget what the term is used. The takeaway. This is what you will be turning in, is a report about this stage and how you got to know the person and what you've learned. And also you will be beginning a journal, calling it a reflective journal. There's not a lot of info in this assignment listed, so I apologize. I'll have to beef that up. So in addition, throughout your project here, you will be keeping a reflective journal, and I believe you use it as much as you want, but there are required times where I'm asking you to turn in a journal. So I believe there's about 4 entries that are required. That's for you to write about your thinking, your off the cuff or deep reflection about what's happening here, what's not going right, what can I do different, what questions do I have? So it's for you to be self-reflective about how the whole coaching process and planning and facilitating goes. Okay, so by the end of in module 4 is the report, and a journal entry. So let's talk briefly about that, what you'll be doing in this exploration stage. Chapter 6 is your key in Aguilar, called the exploration stage. So you will be using that. Read that. I point out that in Exhibit 6.3 on page 113, really gives you a list of various data to collect and to learn to get you ready to do this coaching experience. And most of you are doing this in your own schools, and so you'll have a lot of the data already about schools. Really, the data that you really need to get and information is about the person you will be coaching. So take a look at that. I mean, it can be helpful as well in looking at things surrounding the teacher and his or her context as well. But that's what you'll be doing. You will be sitting down. Now, this is not one of the 3 coaching cycle meetings. This is a beginning meeting. So this is really where, let me read to you exactly, get to know your coachee a bit and what he or she or they may be involved in focusing on within the coaching relationship. You want to know what they want to get good at or learn about or have practice with, or what they want to do in their teaching method or a program that they want to beef up. Again, the final idea is not only for them to get better, but also how it will impact their students in the long run. I'm meaning for this to be a short video, but I'm seeing that it's going to be a little bit longer. I apologize, but I'm hoping it's helpful for you. So basically, you will want to sit down. This can be virtual if you really want to, if it works better that way for you, but sit down and talk with face-to-face, not in an email situation or any kind of texting type situation. You really want to get to know who they are, how they feel about themselves as a teacher, what their strengths are, areas they feel they want to work on, what they feel their students are good at, and what they might need more work with. All that will help you gather information about that person and what their needs are. I do list here that if you can observe this person, I call him a client or a coachee, I'll use that interchangeably throughout. If you can observe this client in action in the classroom, great, but you don't have to do that. So what you do then is, after you've gathered this information, you're going to use the information in chapter 6, use what you know about this person, talk a little bit about the coaching in your school. If there is a program, you'll see this in number 2 in the exploration stage, kind of set a little bit of the context for where this coaching situation will take place. Is there already a formal coaching situation? Has he or she been coached before? Are they part of a new teacher mentor program? What have you? Get to know how they have learned in that type of situation, if they have. So you will be writing all that up and talking about that. In the end, you want to have some kind of idea of areas that this teacher wants to work on. And they may have some really big topics and ideas and things they want to fix. That's great. Have as many ideas as they share with you, but then you too will want to, and it doesn't necessarily have to be here at this exploration stage, but having an idea of where they really want to focus on something that's not huge, something that you and they may be able to see some change and growth and some learning in a 6-week period of time. So yeah, they may have a huge umbrella, but how can you pull the pieces out of that that are more apropos for a short coaching cycle? And that's okay. And let them know this is just a practice for you and a learning experience for you, and you want to help them. So, and you want their feedback. You want to know throughout the process how you're doing, what they're seeing is helpful, what isn't. At the end of this project, you will be asking them more formally for that, so that you can learn from your coachee's perspective as well. But hopefully that helps you start this exploration stage. I do want you to think about and always use the criteria for assignments, because that is what you're being assessed on. That's how I will look at what you turn in and what you do. And there is 3 criteria listed for the exploration stage related to submitting a report, how you provide specifics, and submitting at least one reflective journal entry. Okay, take a look at that. This is all due in module 4. By the end of module 4, that doesn't mean you can't start working on the other components. Maybe next week I'll talk a little bit more about the facilitative coaching plan, because that's the next piece of it. But this is a really important piece to start. So give it, it's just due. Lastly, one more comment about the reflective journal. I do have number 3 listed under the directions in the exploration stage. Excuse me, where it's asking you to begin a reflective journal related to your coaching process with this exploration stage, and you'll continue to use it throughout all stages. You will be asked to turn this in throughout the coaching process, and you are encouraged to use the journal faithfully to assist you in working through your understandings and feelings related to this work and reflecting on the process. Excuse me. Teaching online, I don't get a lot of chance to talk. So when I do, my voice starts to crack a little bit. The basic outcome of that is the goal is to have this journal become a helpful tool for you to use and use frequently. And I think that's a really great tool for coaches to have a journal where the thoughts and ideas come through, because you will be using some of these actual writings and planning and creating a facilitative plan, but the journal is really something that can help guide as well. So if you have more questions, let me know. If you have other general questions, maybe related to the expectations of work, of my expectations as an instructor, you might want to check in with a mentor in the program. But I hope this helps, and I look forward to hearing all about what your plans are for who you will be coaching this term. Thanks. Take care.